A third common element of high-performing teams is they have great communication skills. Now, this may seem obvious, but it's perhaps the most common source of conflict or slowdown of productivity or just frustration on teams that we've encountered over the course of our 30 years of working with leaders. How do we do better? How do we help make sure that information isn't outright missed, or that it's misunderstood, or that it's misinterpreted? We have to get more clear and explicit in our communication with our teammates. There are some simple practices you can use to help make this work better. First, think about some common language. It's amazing how much ambiguity lives in our language choices. If I tell a member of my team, hey, this is urgent, does urgent mean the same thing to you as it means to me? Or do we need to put more words in play to make this happen? Has your team ever had a conversation about what we mean when we say the word crisis? Is that clear to everybody? What constitutes a crisis? Even things like jargon in our space. When you bring a new team member on, are you onboarding them into the language that your team frequently uses? If not, they're probably getting stuck or slowed down in their development because they don't understand the alphabet soup that you and your teammates are throwing around. Second, think about the channels and the preferences that people have around those communication channels. Are you the kind of person that only checks your email a couple times a day at certain times? Maybe you've got a person on your team who thinks email demands a 30-second response time, and you are thinking in your head, well, you should have texted me if you needed something that fast. Have you ever been on a team where an entire thread on chat or Slack or whatever tool you used was really just dedicated to kind of social fun interactions? That's just the channel where we put all our funny memes. You don't even have to ever look at that if you don't want to. Really important work stuff has to go over here in this other communication channel. Understanding the team's preferences around communication, the tools we use, when and how we use them for different modes of communication is really essential. A lot of frustration comes when people feel like they're being left hanging, when in reality, you just tend to use that tool differently. There's obviously a lot more to good communication skills than just that, but establishing a common language and defining your preferences around the communication tools you use can go a long way towards building a high-performing team.